Justifying judicial review, Justice Ramaswamy observed in S.S. Bola versus B.D. Sharma. The founding fathers very wisely therefore incorporated in the Constitution itself the provisions of judicial review so as to maintain the balance of federalism, to protect the fundamental rights and fundamental freedoms guaranteed to the citizens, and to afford a useful weapon for availability, availment and enjoyment of equality, liberty and fundamental freedoms, and to help to create a healthy nationalism. The function of judicial review is a part of the constitutional interpretation itself. It adjusts the Constitution to meet the conditions and the needs of the time. Limelighting the importance of judicial review, Justice Khanna in Kesavanandan versus State of Kerala 1973 observed, "Judicial review has thus become an integral part of our constitutional system." In L. Chandrakumar versus Union of India, AIR 1977, Chief Justice Ahmadi observed that the judges of the Supreme Court have been entrusted with the task of upholding the Constitution, and to this end have been conferred the power to interpret it. It is they who have to ensure that the balance of power envisaged by the Constitution is maintained, and the legislature and the executive do not, in the discharge of their function, transgress constitutional limitations. The jurisdiction conferred on the Supreme Court under Article 32 and High Courts under Article 226 and 227 of the Constitution has been held to be a part of the constitutional inviolable basic structure, which cannot be ousted even by the constitutional amendment. The scope of judicial review is somewhat circumscribed compared to USA. In India, fundamental rights are not so broadly worded as in USA, and the limitations thereon have been stated in the Constitution itself, and this task has not been left to the courts. The Constitution makers adopted the strategy as they felt that the courts might find it difficult to work out the limitations on the fundamental rights, and the better be laid down in the Constitution itself. The drafters of the Constitution also felt that the judiciary should not be raised to the level of super-legislature. Whatever be the justification for the methodology adopted by the Constitution makers, the inevitable result of this has been to restrict the range of judicial review in India. In spite of this, the Supreme Court does play a significant role in the Indian constitutional process. Since the commencement of the Constitution, the Supreme Court has rendered hundreds of decisions expounding various provisions of the Constitution, and thus a distinct constitutional jurisprudence has come into existence. The bare text of the Indian Constitution does not by itself give full picture of Indian constitutional law. To have a full comprehension thereof, one must read the constitutional text along with the gloss put on it by the judiciary from time to time and case to case. It would not be wrong to say that the institution of judicial review has a vibrancy of its own, and has even been declared as the basic feature of the Constitution.